network is bad. It's raining very badly here where I am. So what I decided to do is to go and see Job Sikhala. And I managed to briefly talk to Job Sikhala. So Job Sikhala is being charged as we speak right now. Since he was arrested yesterday around 6, the police have now started charging him with some crime. I don't know what they're charging him with right now as we speak. And according to my understanding, the story of Job Sikhala is very sad because he's arrested together with a pensioner called Alex Tema. So the pensioner that is with is called Alex Tema. And as you can see, it's raining very badly here. So what happened is that Job Sikhala and Alex Tema were driving from a place called WonderPark. WonderPark is in Pretoria North. A group of police stopped them in traffic. So there was heavy traffic. And it was around 6. So they stopped them and they went straight to the seat where Job Sikhala was sitting. And underneath the seat of Job Sikhala, they pulled out the explosives. So the explosives were under the seat that Job Sikhala was sitting. And the driver was Dara Alex Tema, who owns the car. The Job Sikhala had arrived from Botswana. And on arrival from Botswana, he had been communicating with somebody. And at the moment, as of now, I won't mention names. I know the names. I won't mention the names because I don't want to implicate people in things that they may not be involved in. So Job Sikhala had been talking to a certain man, and the man had promised him money. He had said he was going to give him money to pay off somebody. So Job Sikhala then obviously kept discussing with the guy, and then they decided to meet at a certain place, which is in WonderPark. So they went yesterday and met at the restaurant area of WonderPark Mall. When they got there, Dara Tema was driving, and they parked their car in the car park. As they parked their car, they were between 2 other cars, according to what I've heard. Then they left their cars there and they went into the restaurant. They then ate at the restaurant. The man who had promised Job Sikhala money came and did some transfers on his phone and made payments. Whatever payments were supposed to be made were then made. During that time, the man who had came or who was making the payments, who is a different man from the other man who invited Job Sikhala to South Africa, then said his phone was running out of battery and he wanted to go and charge his phone. So Dara Tema gave him his keys, and Job Sikhala and that man walked to the car. On arrival at the car, they did whatever they were doing in the car. Job Sikhala then returned to where Dara Tema was sitting. And when he arrived, Dara Tema said, "Where is the man that you went with?" And Job Sikhala said he went to the toilet. So that man then obviously went away, and then they never saw him again. They then drove away, and on their way to the home of Dara Tema, that's when they met. They were arrested. So that was around 6 p.m. I've asked Job Sikhala to give me names, but he's refused. Obviously, I don't think he wants to implicate anybody. He's refused to say who he was meeting and why they were meeting. He didn't say. I asked him specifically to say who are the guys that you met, and he's refusing to tell me the names of the guys that he met. However, I do know the names of other people that are involved who were also helping Job Sikhala in South Africa, because what happened here was a trap. So it was a trap, and the trap involved money. So the reason why they went there in the first place was to get some money. And so the payment was done. If you were to check people who are in the funds, it will be clear who was paid. So that information is available in the funds. Payments were made from those funds, those different funds of Job Sikhala. On top of that, Job Sikhala's phone has been taken. So the police have taken Job Sikhala's phone, which means, as we are usually afraid, they now have access to the data of Job Sikhala. Job Sikhala also says he fears that he has been poisoned because he was staying at a certain hotel and the same guys were paying. I don't know if it's the same guys who were paying or what. I'm still to clarify exactly what was happening, because Job Sikhala, obviously, me and Job Sikhala are not friends, so he doesn't have to talk to me. And some of the information I was getting it from a third hand, like from third people who were standing around. I was also standing around listening to all the things that were being said. So, in short, the reason why Job Sikhala was arrested was obviously some people said, come and get some money, we're going to be able to pay for this bill. He went there, and then when he arrived, they used the opportunity to plant whatever they had at the bottom of the seat, the passenger seat of the car, which was being driven by Alex Temba. So Alex Temba is the pensioner that you see who is sitting next to Job Sikhala when they were arrested. And it's very unfortunate. This situation has reached a point where Job Sikhala has been charged. So once you're charged, it means you're now going to have to go through the process. He's being processed. Right now, he's left about 20 minutes ago. The investigating officer had started charging Job Sikhala. They were writing him in the book. They were processing him, which means either they are going to send him to prison or something else, because if they didn't want to charge you, they will release you without charge. So right now, as we speak, Job Sikhala was being charged. And I saw the investigating officer actually charging him with whatever they were charging him with. Obviously, when we go to court, we'll understand what they're charging with him. He's at Pretoria Central Police Station. And currently, when I asked him, do you have lawyers? He says, yes, there are 3 lawyers that have arrived at this place. But at the moment, as I was leaving, the lawyer was also on the way. So the lawyer was not there when I left. The lawyer was arriving, one of the lawyers. So there are 3 sets of lawyers, 1 lawyer from Zimbabwe, 1 lawyer who has been sent from South Africa, and 1 as right now in the case. And we'll see what happens. I think these guys are well represented and they're in good hands. Unfortunately, they have fallen into the same trap that Nyokama Bunu fell into, which was to be told that if you come here, we're going to give you a certain amount of money. And then the people that are doing that are not honest people. They're actually trapping you. So if you're told, come and get money, let's meet at such and such a place. That's how Nyokama Bunu was grabbed. So Sikhala is very lucky that he was not grabbed because he had someone. But I have a feeling that if Sikhala had gone by himself, he was probably going to be grabbed the same way that Nyokama Bunu was grabbed. So it's very sad, but this is what has happened. What I'm giving here is the facts. They went to meet someone who had said they're going to pay for something. The transfer was done. And then as they were leaving, someone had then pretended to go to the toilet, went into the car and planted explosives under the seat which Job Sikhala was sitting. So that those explosives were under the seat where Job Sikhala was sitting. And then obviously the rest of the thing happened. They probably phoned the police to say those guys have got explosives or something like that. That's how it happened. And as we speak, Job Sikhala is being charged, and we'll update you. Obviously, this story is going to hit the press here tomorrow. Probably we'll be able to know what happened. Job Sikhala came back here. My understanding is that on Monday, and some of the guys have been taking care of his bills and expenses for a while. So some of the people now who are in this case, who are responsible for money being given and so forth, are people that are involved in assisting Job Sikhala for a while now. Particularly, one guy who has been mentioned, whose name I won't mention, is a man from Shawane who is in the trucking business here in South Africa, who lives in Sandton. So that man who lives in Sandton was assisting Job Sikhala for a long time. So the question is, was he involved? Does he know about it or not? But this is what I can give you, what I have right now. Job Sikhala being asked to come and meet someone, and that person would pay for certain things. But then when they arrived, after sitting for a while, pretending to want to charge his phone, and then walking out with Job Sikhala, and then Job Sikhala walking back alone into the restaurant with the keys. But I believe that they had jammed the car already and then put the explosives under his seat. This is my theory of what happened in terms of how those explosives got under the seat where Job Sikhala was sitting. On top of that, obviously, Job Sikhala is not comfortable to speak. He is not comfortable to say anything. I tried to ask him so many times in so many ways, but he was unable to tell me who exactly he dealt with, who he met. He said to me, I don't remember the name of the guy. Obviously, he remembers because if the guy was sponsoring or was paying for something, they would have talked. But he said to me, I don't remember the name of the guy. That is what he said to me. And the stuff that I have right now is second-hand information. But the good thing is that there are transactions. So there are payments that were made at the restaurant. There was a transfer that was made paying someone who obviously the expense was for Job Sikhala. So if ever they were to be asked, was there a payment made? It will link back to a bank account of the person that was paid. So that needs to be, it's a good thing for Job Sikhala to say, I was meeting this person, I was receiving money for this kind of thing. And it will clarify his story. So I believe that he's got a good story. He's got a good cover to, if he was ever to end up in court, which I hope it won't happen. I hope that they'll get him discharged as soon as possible. But as a lesson, if someone says, come to me, come to South Africa, I'm going to help you, I'm going to sponsor you, I'm going to help you with this and that, most times it's fake. There's not a person that is that kind to help. Most people are vouchers. Most people just want to get you into trouble, and it's better. I was only saying this, that if only there were honest people who could help our politicians so that they don't end up in this kind of situation. This is a pure trap that happened here. A trap to say, come and get money. Same thing happened to Nyoka Mabuni. Was told, come from East London, come to Johannesburg, we'll give you money. And that money came, but it came with so much trouble. This is what happens. And then they take your phone. When they take your phone, they go through your phone. Who have you been talking to? What have you been talking about? Those are the kind of things that they want. It's so valuable for them. They can even pay you 5 million. They don't care. As long as they grab your phone, as long as they grab you and keep you in jail in South Africa so that you can move around. That is the kind of thing that is happening right now to Job Sikhala. So that is what I have for now. Job Sikhala trapped with a meeting to receive some payment. He went to the meeting at WonderPark Mall. WonderPark Mall is about 20 kilometers out of Pretoria, in Pretoria North. When he arrived there, they sat down with Mdara Alex Tema. They had a meeting. They ate some food, I believe. And then after that, during the lunch, Job Sikhala was asked to accompany the other men to the car. They went to the car, and then Job Sikhala walked back alone. And then when they drove away back to Pretoria, they then got to a point where they were accosted by police in the middle of traffic and pulled out of traffic. And then the police went straight to the bottom of the seat of Job Sikhala and pulled out the explosives that you've seen. If you haven't seen the explosives, they are widely circulating on social media. And if you go to Gambakwe.com, you will see the actual explosives. I've put them on Gambakwe.com. The actual explosives are there on Gambakwe.com. You'll be able to see them and how they look, how they were packaged. And mostly, I believe there were sticks, there were dynamite sticks with cables. So you'll be able to see them over there. I would like to thank all of you for watching. It's raining very badly. And what I will do is I'll come and give you guys an update when I get more. Tomorrow, we'll be able to give you an update on new developments so that we don't interfere. There are some things here that I can't say because if you say them, we're going to damage the plans that are there. But what you must know, if someone calls you and says, come get money, say, keep your money, I don't need it because it's very dangerous out there. Thank you very much, everyone, for watching. I'll see you again later on tonight, and a good evening to you all.